Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening I bid to everyone. My name is Noor, Yasmin, binti Firdaus and I'm from 5N. The title of my short speech today would be Cleanliness is next to Godliness. So firstly, cleanliness is the most important virtue of human life. It protects us from all diseases and we can also call it the basis of human life. In daily life, it is very important for us to know the importance of cleanliness and also inculcate the habit of cleanliness in our daily routine. We must practice habits related to personal hygiene such as brushing our teeth and also washing our hands. This will keep bacteria, viruses and illnesses away. Also, we can maintain cleanliness by not littering and not letting others litter. Instead, we should make use of the rubbish and recycling bins around us. And lastly, we can also contribute to the welfare of the nation by keeping clean. A clean place is free from pollution. A pollution-free environment will lead to a sustainable environment and growth. Thus, we should adopt environment-friendly measures such as not using plastic bags. It is very important for us to pay full attention of the places around us. Make it a habit to take special care of the places around you, no matter where you live and where you work. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening I bid to everyone watching. Hi, my name is Zara binti Mohamad Rizal and I'm from class 4C. Today, well, I happen to have brought a very interesting topic that I'm sure for those of you who are especially familiar with social media will most definitely like. So, today's topic is cancel culture. The internet's way of holding people accountable. Now, okay, so you may or may not be asking, what is cancel culture? Okay, so if you ask different people, there are actually many definitions to the phrase cancel culture. But through my research, I found a statement that will work within a general discussion. So, cancel culture is actually a movement to remove celebrity status or esteem from a person, place, or thing. It is also an online form of public shaming through social media platforms. It is also defined as the withdrawal of support from public figures and companies based on offensive behavior or transgression, or basically something that they did. So, to summarize, cancel culture is basically, like previously said, a movement where people call out others who they disagree with. So I want to further cement, just in case if no one really understood my clinical, pretty boring explanation. Let me demonstrate. So, oh my god, guys! I can't believe this! I just saw my favorite actor holding a Starbucks cup. Oh my god. Hashtag cancelled. Yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about now, don't you? Okay, so why am I bringing up cancel culture? Why is this today's topic? Well, it's because I realized, okay, if you look at the phrase cancel culture, and if you've heard of it before, I'm sure that in your mind it's quite an easy answer to the question that I'm about to ask you, which is cancel culture a good thing? Well, as it turns out, after I made more research regarding this topic, I realized that cancel culture is not as simple as it seems. It's actually quite a broad topic, and there are actually many different opinions about it, which was surprising because I thought it was black and white. So let's talk about it for a quick second. Bear with me. Okay, so there are two sides of the coin, obviously. The side that agrees that yes, cancel culture is a good thing, and the other side that disagrees and believes that no, we don't like cancel culture. So cancel culture, it brings about its own pros and cons, such as everything else in this world does. Let's talk about its pros, where I understand why people believe that cancel culture is a good thing. So cancel culture, the act of calling other people out on social media, brings about many different benefits, because calling other people out on social media also means that you bring light to the topic that is being spoken about. For example, if you call out your favorite artist, it brings light, it sheds some light to the topic of the offensive act or whatever they did, you know? For example, I'm sure as you all probably heard about recently, it's happened for quite a while now, but the act of boycotting. Now, boycotting is an example of cancel culture, because cancel culture happens to be the main people behind the act of boycotting. So it brings light to the serious topics about, for example, Palestine, Gaza, and how we shouldn't support certain companies, and so on and so forth. Now that's one pro. Another benefit to cancel culture is that it also teaches people that actions have consequences, and not just any actions, but also the things that you do online. Now, people may think that, oh, behind the screen, no one knows who you are safe, but you're not. And cancel culture happens to teach that very lesson by teaching you that if you do questionable things online, that will also come to light. You are not safe. You cannot hide just because you decide to do those bad things behind the screen instead. Now, let's talk about why people actually disagree and believe that no, cancel culture is not really a good thing. Well, I also happen to understand some of these views, and let's talk about it. Why is cancel culture not a good thing? According to the research that I've done, people believe that cancel culture actually isn't good because it forces views onto other people. Now, as I made more research about it, I realized that yes, this is quite true, because while cancel culture, most people have very noble goals, noble reasons as to why they are part of cancel culture and they start it, but sometimes people do it not for noble reasons and can be a bit too forceful about their words and opinions. And because of this, it brings the opposite effect of what they want, which is to gather support. But in reality, it actually decreases their support for the movement because, well, people don't like having views forced on them. So that's one disadvantage to cancel culture. Another one is that some argue that social media is not the right place to exactly be talking about certain topics, certain serious topics, and they argue that it should be spoken about, brought up about in other ways. If you are offended by someone, for example, you should talk about it. If you are offended by someone, for example, you shouldn't publicly shame them on social media. Instead, you should go to them and have a talk one-on-one, for example. And I agree in those sort of cases that yes, you should not be using cancel culture just to publicly shame someone for something you could probably solve in a much easier and more nicer way. But enough about that. So, in conclusion, we cannot deny that cancel culture brings about a huge impact onto, well, anything at this point. So, what can we learn from that? Well, there are about three things we can learn from it, basically. The first one is that, well, as previously mentioned, actions have consequences. Actions include the things you do, the things you say, the way you act, and so on and so forth. Because of this, I encourage everyone watching to please be mindful of the people around you, of your surroundings, and be considerate. You cannot just, pardon me, you must be mindful of others just as they are mindful of you. If they can be considerate to us, why can't we return the favor? So, and actions have consequences. So you cannot just simply go about your day and think that, oh, I can easily say this about this person and expect nothing of it. No. If people see bad behavior, if people see negative behavior, obviously everyone will point it out because, well, they disagree with it. So we must all remember that whatever you do, even if it is behind a digital screen, please be careful, be mindful, and be considerate. Second is that words are powerful. Now you may think that just speaking has not much of an impact, but in reality, you'd be surprised by how people actually really think about the words you say at times. Be it negative or positive, words tend to stick in one's mind, especially if it's about a very serious topic. So, whatever you do, just remember and be, as always, be mindful of what you say, and remember that words do have power. So, if you say something, be careful with it, basically. And last, I'd like to talk about this one other lesson, which is be careful. Pardon me. The last lesson I'd like to talk about is that consequences. Never mind, actually. That should be it, really, because I realize it's mostly the same. So, in conclusion, many things we can learn from cancel culture, the do's and don'ts. Mostly, just be careful out there, everyone. Social media, it's amazing, it's entertaining. I agree, but we must always be mindful of what we do, what we say, and so on and so forth. Sorry, that's all from me. Thank you.